Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 7th of April 2024. So, is society controlled or free? Now, keep watching to the end of this video because I'm going to be shouting out 3 events coming up in the very near future, one of which is entitled that very same thing, is society controlled or free? But carry on watching to the end. But it's an interesting question, isn't it? Do you think this society, this supposedly free democratic society we live in, is free or is it controlled? Well, I don't think we really need to dwell on that question too long, do we? I think the events of the last 4 years and ongoing events certainly proves that it's the latter. There's just no doubt about that at all. Actually, before I carry on, and this is just a weird, bizarre thing. What is it with Richard Tice, a leader of the Reform Party? What is he up to now? Because I'm not sure what the full story is, but it seems like he's basically sucking up to this organisation called Hope Not Hate. They've been instrumental in kind of closing down or curtailing a few freedom movement events and things like that. Now, this particular organisation is purely and simply a communist organisation, and in common with a lot of these communist organisations like Black Lives Matter, etc., they actually call themselves a kind of a nice, pleasant sounding name, but in fact they are sinister and they are communist organisations. So why is a supposedly right of centre party leader, Richard Tice, kowtowing to a communist organisation, communist people? It's a little bit like, it reminds me of when Johnson was listening to various people, various advisory bodies, which included the likes of Susan Mitchie, who is a communist. So actually the name of this entity, this advisory body, escapes me. Oh no, it doesn't. It's Sage, wasn't it? Who were advising the government on what they should and shouldn't be doing during the height of the lurgy. And one of these people was this communist, card-carrying communist, Susan Mitchie. And there was, again, a supposedly right-of-centre party leader, Boris Johnson, kind of listening to the likes of her. So it really shows that there are things going on. Things aren't what they seem. This isn't a free and democratic society. These people are being pulled and pushed left, right and centre by hidden hands, people like Tice and Johnson. They're just puppets, aren't they, being controlled by the powers that shouldn't be, as I call them. And there's just so many things like that, isn't there, which has convinced me that we're not living in a free society. It's highly controlled. All of the mainstream media, when you kind of boil it down into the parent companies and who owns those parent companies, etc., are all owned by only a tiny handful of vested interests. And if they want something to happen or not to happen, they just instruct their lackeys in the mainstream media, who then use their power to influence society. And I don't even think elections are fair and free. Even if you take out all of the supposed shenanigans which possibly goes on in general elections and presidential elections, all these powers that shouldn't be have to do is influence the media, who then put out the message that, oh look, this party might be better to vote for this time than that party. And admittedly that's not going to influence everybody, but it will influence enough people to vote for who they're telling you to vote for, essentially, to swing the election in the way, in favour of the way that the powers that shouldn't be want it to go. And I honestly think that most of the time this is what happens, and that, for one, proves to me that this society isn't free, it's controlled. And then when you couple that with all of the psychological manipulation that goes on, all of the predictive programming that happens in popular TV programs, popular culture and all that of that kind of thing, the strings of society are being pulled by nefarious forces, and we only have the illusion of freedom. So that's a little bit of a rant. So I'm going to keep it short because I've got a fair few shout outs to do, which is going to take me a little while. So the first one, as I say, it's called Society Controlled or Free, and this is happening this Thursday, 11th of April, from 4:45 to 9:30 p.m. In London at the Emmanuel Centre, which is SW1 P3DW, which is a stone's throw from Parliament, Palace of Westminster, in that vicinity. And the speakers include Andrew Bridgen MP, the very outspoken MP, Sandi Adams, who's an expert on Agenda 2030. Always great to hear the latest that she's come up with. And then we've got Scott McCullough, we've got Jim Ferguson, who's a farming expert, and also Mark Sharman and Oracle Films. Now, you might remember their film from a couple of years ago, Safe and Effective, an absolute superb film. Well, they're currently in the process of making or putting the final touches on another film, again a joint venture between Mark and Oracle Films, and this time it's going to be all about Agenda 2030 and everything we need to know about that, the true nature of that. So it's going to be a very, very important film, and it's going to be all over the freedom movement in the next month or two when it finally comes out. But at this event, Mark Sharman's going to be there talking about the film, and I think he's going to be showing a couple of excerpts, like a trailer, I suppose you could call it, and he's going to be there, so you can sort of meet him if you want, talk to him, and be one of the first to see the trailer from this brand new film. So it promises to be a fantastic event. So the second event is something called the Tisbury Symposium, which is happening next weekend, Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th of April, down there at Hinton Hall in Tisbury, which isn't too far from Stonehenge. It's in that part of the world, and it's going to be 2 absolutely jam-packed days of fabulous speakers talking on all sorts of different subjects, everything from Agenda 2030 to sort of various health things, 5G, etc. And I'm just going to give you a little flavour of the speakers who will be there. A couple of them are going to be shared from the first event I've just mentioned, because Sandi Adams is also going to be at this event. Mark Sharman and Oracle Films are also going to be there with kind of a trailer of the new film that I've just mentioned. So they're going to be there. You've also got Gloria Moss, who will be talking about the crisis in education and solutions. Suk Singh, who's the kind of common law expert. So there's going to be a bit of common law going on here as well. And the organiser of this event has asked me to give a particular mention to Annie Yeoman, who will be speaking at 2:30 on the Saturday. Water and Celtic salt, the incredible solution for positive health. So that promises to be an amazing talk, and I'm really looking forward to it myself. Anything to do with health and how you can improve it, especially if it's something as simple as sort of water and salt. I'm all ears really. So that's going to be an amazing talk, and like I say, the organiser wanted me to give that a particular shout out. It's going to be really, really worth it. So that's just what's happening on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have got Ian Jarvis, the 5G expert, talking. We've then, we've got Catherine Armitage, who I know many viewers may know. She's going to be talking about spring detox and homeopathy. And also Ivor Cummins, he's got big YouTube channel, Fat Emperor podcast and all of that. So he's going to be there on the Sunday speaking at 2:15 at Hinton Hall on, like I say, the Sunday. So that promises to be fantastic. Now, in order to get tickets, you have to either ring or text the organiser. She's called Christabel, and her number is 07501 784473. All of this will be in the description box below, by the way. The other two events, the previous one and the one I'm about to go on to, are event bright ones, so the links to that will be in the description box below. But this one, the Tisbury one, you need to either text or call Christabel, and she'll be happy to give you a ticket, basically. And so it promises to be a fantastic event. And if you go into that one, I'm going to be there filming, so I'll see you there as well. And in fact, same goes for the third event. So it's the latest Uprise and Shine event happening on the 3rd to the 5th of May, so it's basically the first Friday and weekend in May. It goes from Friday, Saturday through to Sunday, and there is, again, it's like the second event. It's going to be a combination of common law talks. It's going to be all sorts of health related things, alternative remedies and all of this kind of thing. And it's going to be an absolutely superb event. You've got Richard Vobes, he'll be going along there. Mark Devlin, Sook, the common law expert, is going to be there as well. Comedian Abby Roberts will be there. The good thing about the Uprise and Shine is they've got all sorts of things happening. You've got stalls and workshops, as well as the talks, sort of dotted around the site, and evening entertainment. I think Mark Devlin will be putting on his DJ hat, and he'll be doing that, as well as, no doubt, a really interesting talk. So, and there's so many other people there as well. Again, that's an Eventbrite one. I'll leave a link to that, and you can just go into the link and check out the full itinerary on that one, as well as obviously getting your ticket. And like I say, I'll be at that one as well. So if you're going to either the second or third event that I just mentioned, I'll see you there. No doubt both of them are going to be fantastic, as will the first one. Sadly, I can't get along to that one, but that might be a good one if you're sort of in or around London. And the nice thing about these events is they kind of overlap a bit. So if you can't get to one of them, you can go to one of the other ones. So, that's all good there, isn't it? So with that, I'll let you go and check these links out. I'll ring that number if you want as well for the second event. And I'll be back soon. Tim from Fair Play now. Thanks for watching.